Technology Guide 3 is about protecting your information assets. It goes along with Chapter 3 because Chapter 3 talks about the organization with privacy, ethics, and information security. So this sort of brings it down to a personal level. The discussion is really into two different areas. First is some behavioral actions you can take, and second is computer-based actions you can take. A lot of this stuff is things that you've heard from different sources, especially the behavioral actions, not using your or protecting your social security number, virtual credit cards. A lot of the credit card companies will provide these for you. If you want to make a purchase online, they'll give you a one-time use credit card number that you can put in, so that way you don't have to put in your actual credit card number. Limit the use of debit cards, not using a personal mailbox at home such as Outlook or Outlook Express. You want to use web-based email as much as possible at home, because the biggest difference in mailboxes and web-based mail is the web-based mail, you're viewing the email off of the server just like you would view any other web page. And typically your Google Mail, Yahoo Mail, anything like that is going to scan all of your messages before they show them to you. But if you download it in your mailbox, then it's coming straight in. Any virus, any type of computer program that's intended to harm your computer is going to be downloaded automatically onto your computer. And so it's just always best to not use a mailbox at home for that reason. And that's just a personal decision, but I actually, myself, I prefer Gmail for everything. I load all of my mail into Gmail, and it scans everything. And sometimes I get a message telling me that there was a infected message, and it just left it on the server. And so, anyway, that's just personal preference. Sign up with a company that provides proactive protection of your personal information. There's a lot of those out there. You can just do a Google search, and you'll find a lot of different companies that would help you protect personal information. Computer-based actions, a lot of these things are things that I have learned that have become second nature to me. And I see these lists, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I know that. But what I've realized is that this is second nature to me because of the time when I guess I grew up with the internet to an extent. Not that I've had it all of my life, but we didn't. When I graduated high school, we were still taking keyboarding on a typewriter. I think a couple of years after that was when they finally got computers. I didn't have an email address until I was a year or two into my undergrad degree. So I've kind of, to an extent, grown up as the internet grew up, and as these problems developed and they evolved, I was aware of them and I learned about it. So these computer-based actions are just second nature as to what to do and what not to do. But for younger people, it's not necessarily the case, or people who just weren't that familiar and weren't keeping up with the internet and changes and everything that was happening. So everything, the rest of the chapters, there's a lot of good suggestions for computer-based actions that you need to be aware of. Simple things like having a firewall on your computer, in addition to or above and beyond the one that comes on the computer. Because if you're running a Windows PC, you've got a Windows firewall, but it wouldn't be a bad idea to have another one. Even if you just use a free firewall, like Zone Alarm. I ran Zone Alarm on my computers for a long time, and so it never hurts to have an additional firewall on your computer. This just mentions different types of software that you could put on your computer that will help to monitor it and filter information, search for different types of viruses, spyware, rootkits, spamware. There's a lot of different things that you can put on your computer to scan it. Now, one of the things that I do is I have that software, but I've got it shut down. I've got it cut off. If I feel like I may have a problem, I'll run it, and it can find and quarantine whatever there is on my computer. But most importantly, I keep a backup of everything, which is another comment in a minute. But I don't run it because it always slows my computer down, and I got tired of installing virus software, and my computer just slowing down to a crawl. So the biggest thing you can do is the behavioral actions of being careful of the websites that you go to, the emails that you open, the things you download. That's your best protection, is just being smart. Using a browser other than Internet Explorer. That's anytime you can use anything besides Windows or Microsoft products, you're better off to use something else. And I'm not that much against Windows. I mean, I think, or Microsoft. I think that they're a company that's trying. They put out a good product. I mean, it's got its problems, but at the same time, where would corporate America be without Windows right now? I mean, everybody uses Windows. Everybody uses Microsoft Office. It's sort of a standard, and that I know that I can send anybody a doc file or an XLS file, and you'll be able to open it. And that's sort of just an industry standard. And so it's got its place, but at the same time, there's pieces of their software that can create problems. Everybody knows that Windows always puts out a product that's not complete, and it's inferior, and it's got holes in it. And they're probably the only company in America that can sell a product that they know has holes in it. And with XP, they've got 3 service packs now to patch all of the problems and to fix the holes in their software. So anyway, all of that said, you just need to be careful if you're using only Windows products, because people find the holes. Typically, the hackers find them and then Windows fixes them. Windows probably knows about them. They just fix the ones that they can and then do what they have to with the ones the hackers have found. There's a lot more suggestions on here. You can just read through this. The last one here, personal disaster preparation, backup. That is so important, to keep a backup of everything, because even if you don't get viruses or anything else on your computer that could destroy it, you could just have hardware failure. I had a hard drive that just died on me once, and I had a lot of information on it, but there was nothing I could do, and it was so dead they couldn't get anything back off of it. So now I've got actually run off of a Mac now, and it comes with software built in called Time Machine, and you can plug in any USB external drive. It doesn't have to be USB, it could be FireWire, but you can plug in any external drive, tell it to use it as Time Machine, and then every time you plug into it, it will create a backup of your computer. And so it's I know that I'm always protected. I've always got a backup. You can even, if you get a new computer, you can even restore your backup to your new computer, so that way all of your files and settings and everything move right on over. So that's something that's really convenient and easily done on a Mac. Now, I'm not sure if the Windows Vista came with that functionality or not. I never did that much with Vista, and probably won't, because Microsoft has already announced they're coming out with Windows 7 real soon. And finally, at the end of it, it gives you some tips on your wireless security system at home. Not security system, but wireless security for your network at home. And just about all of you probably have a wireless router at home, and this is just some tips on how to make sure that your wireless network is secure. So Technology Guide 3 is interesting because it's dealing with us on a personal level, things that we can do to make sure that our computers are safe and our information is safe as well. So if you have any questions, give me a call or just shoot me an email.